We are live. Thank you very much. Guess what just fucking happened? The Miami Heat just won the motherfucking game. The Miami Heat are headed to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time since 2014. First time in a long time without LeBron, the big three, nobody else. The Miami Heat just took down the number one seeded Milwaukee Bucks. And don't give me that shit about Giannis not playing, because we was whooping their motherfucking ass without Giannis. And without Giannis, they played better. So anyway, I don't want to hear it. Listen, all I want to say is, and there's people that have been following me on Twitter all day. I just gotta say how you love that. Bad news for the Celtics or Raptors. Okay, listen, that's all I'm gonna do. That's all I'm gonna do. That's the only time I'm gonna address today's Twitter controversy. Guys. The Miami Heat are in the Eastern Conference Finals. The Miami Heat took care of business today. The Miami Heat got big contributions from rookies. A guy like Tyler Hero just showed what a badass he is, right? You had a team that I gotta pause. I gotta mute my TV in the background. I should have been ready for this, but I'm not. Alfredo. I'm going to let you go for a second because this is the first time we've been in the Eastern Conference Finals since 2014. Me and you have been doing this Twitter shit, this Heat Twitter stuff for a long time. How does it feel to be back in the Eastern Conference Finals again?
Well, first of all, it's tradition in my house to toast the losers of a playoff series. So here's to you, Brook Lopez. Nice series, dipshit.
Dipshit.
How many people did that guy kick in this series? In the second quarter, man. By the way, it's Jack and Ginger today. Okay, celebratory drink. And I went to the kitchen to go get some ice, and out of nowhere, Brook Lopez came out and kicked me right in the chin.
Right in the goddamn face. It's not right. It's not right what he did to you.
Sweet chin music like that happened the other day.
Oh man, it was great. And by the way, I feel a little bit of vindication here. The Kendrick Nunn game, it came, right? We got it.
Really? Did it really?
I don't know. What did you finish with? Because I thought those were really big relief points.
He finished with 6-2-1, 1 steal, 1 block. Like honestly, I was not mad at Kendrick Nunn. Okay, what I saw from Kendrick Nunn was that he was spelled Dragic in the fourth quarter for some minutes that we've been begging. Like Dragic has played like the last 10, 11 minutes of a lot of fourth quarters, and it's not good for that old man. Like he needs that time.
Yeah.
So Nunn spelled him. I would have personally liked Derrick Jones Jr. out there instead of Kendrick Nunn, but that's my own personal opinion. I thought Kendrick Nunn played good defense. And my biggest problem with Kendrick Nunn is his defense is straight trash for the most part. But he played good defense. He spelled Goran Dragic. And then Goran Dragic came in and hit like 1 or 2 big shots at the end. But honestly, I don't want to talk about Goran Dragic. I don't want to talk about Jimmy Butler. I don't want to talk about Bam Adebayo. All these guys who Jay Crowder, all these guys who literally got us to this point. I want to talk about the size of Tyler Hero's balls. Like the fact that this 20-year-old young man just keeps coming out here, and no matter what happens, he plays within himself. He plays his own pace. He just keeps hitting buckets. And he made some mistakes. He's a rookie. He's going to make mistakes. Like, come on. Like, what are we going to do?
By the way, let's get the bad out of the way. Bam Adebayo. That was his worst game of the year.
Was it really?
Bad.
You think so?
I thought he was bad tonight.
I mean, yeah, he wasn't great. He had the 5 turnovers. You know, he only had 6 boards. You know, it was a little sloppy here and there. You know, between him and Jimmy, it wasn't looking great at first. But
yeah, Brook Lopez gave him work. Like that was bad. Like that was a bad Bam performance. We still got it anyway, gentlemen. Sweep.
One thing I want to bring out Brook Lopez, he's a monster, low key. Like I think we forget how good he is. One thing I hope comes out of this game, I wish sometimes they're not in the same category. But you notice Lopez he's a 3-point shooter, but he has no problem going down low if he needs to. Kelly Olynyk tonight had maybe 2 or 3 times where he had a smaller guy on him. He goes down there and he futzes it up. If he makes those buckets, we don't have these nail biter type games. Just an aside, but go ahead, Phil.
Well, I will say, I want to say, Kelly. I'm sorry. I'm gonna challenge Chris because Kelly Olynyk was second in the team in plus minus tonight. Kelly Olynyk was a plus 22. I thought Kelly Olynyk played a great game.
Kelly Olynyk had a stretch in the third quarter where he had a turnover. He had a stupid foul. Hold on.
Everybody
came
did.
down. Hold on. He came down, knew he was getting pulled out, shot a terrible 3. Right? I'm just saying.
My man was a plus 22.
It matters.
In this game.
He might have been a plus 22, but there was a period of time there where he helped them get back in the game. That's all. And I had no problem with Kelly. I'm just saying every now and then, sometimes I don't want to talk about Kelly Olynyk. Like you said, on the night where Tyler Hero went, balls to the wall. 2 things. Forget Kelly Olynyk because he might not even play next game or whenever we play again. Tyler Hero, the bubble, perfect for him. And Duncan Robinson.
Tyler Hero led the team with a plus 23, by the way.
On our podcast on LSO sometimes.
Good game.
Say that again.
It should have been the perfect environment for Duncan, and yet I feel like he had 1 good game this series.
Yeah,
right.
Duncan Robinson had 2 points tonight. Was a minus 13.
That happens with shooters though. Like even when we've seen these massive explosions, Jamal Murray and Donovan Mitchell, they're scorers, not necessarily shooters, but you're going to have these up and downs. This just means that the law of averages is going to play in Duncan's favor in the next round in one of these games. But with Tyler Hero though, in this environment, me and Alf talk about it all the time on our other podcast. You guys have all seen the videos with guys in the off season. Everybody's a workout warrior in the gym, right? Everybody's going crazy at these open runs at the Drew League. Tyler Hero fits perfectly in that culture, and the bubble is close to that. So when Alf says he's got balls out there, it's because he's out there just hooping. And I love to see that happen. Like he got into a little mode there where he was like, "Yo, I'm in the flow of it. I'm throwing alleys. I'm blocking shots.
No look passes.
Going off.
I said that while I was watching the game with my cousin tonight. I said Tyler Hero is just a basketball player.
That's it.
And we confuse him with the shooter. We confuse him with a lot of different things. But what I want to do, first of all, I want to introduce everybody because I get excited. I forget that people don't know all of us and blah, 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 and this and that. Yes, the refs were garbage this game. We're not going to talk about the refs. I'm so tired of talking about these motherfucking refs because they suck and they're sorry and the Heat keep overcoming them. But I want to go around the horn. We got David Fernandez. David, say what's up.
What's up?
We got Kylie Wang. Kylie, tell them what you out here doing.
What do you mean? What am I out here doing?
I mean, you got your YouTube show. I mean,
we got a great YouTube show playing catch up. We're gonna give you 5-10 minutes, 10 minutes on Mondays, 5 minutes on Wednesdays and Fridays. Ian Brown, sweetest girl in the world. Christopher, stop laughing. I'm about to give this damn good pitch right now. All right, I'm telling you, you focus in on the Heat all week long, and that's totally fair. But there are other sports that have been happening in South Florida that you've been missing out on, and so we are gonna give you the inside scoop really fast. Listen to it on your way to work. 5 minutes. It's going to be super easy. We're going to air again tomorrow, but we also have an episode up on Monday from yesterday. Go check that out on the 5 Reasons YouTube channel.
Tiffany Meeks, what's going on, Tiffany? Tiffany is new to 5 Reasons Sports. Tiffany is a very good basketball mind that I discovered on Twitter, and I'm saying it. Yes, I discovered Tiffany. I also discovered Brady Hawk. I'm taking credit for my discovery.
The chubby, light-skinned sports.
The network Alf built.
He's like, I discovered Tyler Hero.
Listen. I'm the Adam Simon. I'm the Chet Kammerer of 5 Reasons Sports. You know what I'm saying? I find the diamonds in the rough. Tiffany, what's going on? Tell them where to find you. What's going on with you? How you doing tonight?
I'm good. You guys can find me at Twitter.
Twitter's a whole different website. I'm on that one too.
I'm in. I know you on there. You the president, the CEO. No, you guys can find me at Twitter, Tiffany Meeks 2345.
Next up, Christopher Maddox. Christopher Maddox, I've known Christopher since I was 14 years old. I've known Chris since I was 14 years old. We went to school together. We host Light Skin Opinions together. Chris, Well, shit, I already told them where to find you. Where else can they find you?
That's about it, really. I'm on Instagram at Maddox Media. Do a lot of little stuff. You can find me. Put my name in. If stuff will come up.
Yeah, he writes books and shit. Like
yeah. A couple books. Yeah.
Big nerd.
Check 'em out.
Big nerd. Alfredo Ortega, Chris Maddox, greater than Alf. I'm not gonna argue. Alfredo Ortega from 3 yards per carry. Alfredo, tell them where to find you. What's going on with you?
You can see me on Twitter. Of course, you can get my podcast anywhere. Dolphins play the Patriots this Sunday. The Heat did us a solid because Thursday it's all football. We can relax and wait for Boston to dust off Toronto. We can relax, watch some football on Thursday, enjoy ourselves, and then we dig into the Eastern Conference Finals.
They did you guys a solid until you guys get to look terrible in the reflected light of the Miami Heat. And we look at you guys and we're like, wow, you guys could also be scrappy and tough and raw, but
you're not.
I say that I'm just messing with you though, but I love the Dolphins. I'm
We're
really
young.
hoping that Tagliavoa is going to be the Dolphins version of Hero next year, not this year.
Okay, well, before we get into the Dolphins, because that's not what we're here for. I kind of want to get everybody's take on this game. You know, it's a hard game to analyze because I feel like the Heat had a curveball thrown at them without the Giannis thing. I think I wanted them since last game when they found out Giannis was out. I wanted them to crush Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton was a -7 today. He was 8 for 25. I feel like there was a Jeremy Lin, TJ Warren effect. I'm gonna start with you, David. What did you see from Heat tonight? How do you feel about the game plan? How do you feel about them going forward, Eastern Conference Finals?
Listen, after game 4, they were talking about how it was a letdown, right? How they relaxed, and when they relaxed, they let the Bucks take that game, right? You know, tonight it felt a little bit that way to start in the first quarter. I mean, they lose the first quarter by 9 points, you know, but it also at the same time it felt like they took Milwaukee's best punch there early, and then when the second unit came in, you know, the team found its footing, and then they dominated in that second quarter, and that, you know, the third quarter was a little back and forth, but once they found their footing, they were okay. And listen, the biggest difference tonight was the bench. You were talking already about how Tyler Hero was a plus 23. I mean, he had 14 points. Kelly Olynyk played really well. And listen, I'm on the Kendrick Nunn. It wasn't his game tonight, but he played valuable minutes. I mean, he had 22 minutes. He spelled Dragic in the second and the fourth quarter. He was a plus 14. You know, he had a steal. He had a block. I mean, he was productive out there. And that's not something that we could have always said, you know, for Nunn over the course of this season, particularly in the bubble. So it was a great response after the letdown of game 4. You know, the letdown to start this one, right? The turnovers, the sloppy play, all of that. They come back, they control this game, you know, second quarter on. And moving forward, listen, they're playing with house money, right? We didn't expect them to get into the Eastern Conference. And listen, if they draw Toronto, they're going to beat Toronto if they draw Toronto, right?
Oh, big talk. Big talk.
Boston, yeah, listen, if it's Boston, that's going to be a tougher matchup, obviously, right? They have pieces that the Heat have struggled to deal with throughout the year, but they're going to be competitive regardless of what happens, right? So there's a real shot that they make it to the NBA Finals.
Tiffany, I want to go to you next. I want to know what you saw from tonight's game and what you see going forward.
It was hard to watch. So I'll be honest. It was hard to watch. It was very uneven. But
Tiffany, my favorite thing about Tiffany ain't about this fucking this Heat fucking cocky Heat fan bullshit hype. Tiffany's like, I didn't like the way these motherfuckers played today. You lucky got out here with a win. Tiffany about here. Tiffany don't sugarcoat shit. Tiffany, go ahead, tell them what you saw tonight.
No, it was hard to watch. It was uneven, and I'm really trying to figure out what's actually going on with Jimmy. Like he mentally, he didn't seem to be in the game. Mentally, he just didn't seem. He did, like the repeated drive to the middle, get surrounded, and just fling the ball away. And he did it numerous times. he never got his comfort zone. He never got to his mid range, and I mean that could also be due to Wes Matthews because he was up in his jock all night. Honestly, going forward, I think I'm going to disagree with you. I think I'd rather see them play Boston because our guards will get worked by Van Fleet and Lowry.
I don't want to see either of them.
I'm just telling you. I'd rather take our chances with all our forwards.
I don't want to see even little thick motherfuckers in the next round. I'm gonna tell you.
I honestly, I'd say I'd rather see somebody like Iggy or somebody like DJJ in the fourth on Kimba. I do not want to see none isolated at the top of the key, getting
no
worked
more,
and watching it on Sports Center the next day. Like I don't want to see that.
Chris, what did you see tonight, and who would you rather see in the next round?
A couple things. I liked the game tonight. I did, but
you're like fuck Tiffany.
I do know because here's the reason why though, and I think we've seen it in the bubble. Like you see how sporadic the game can be between if you have a guy who explodes and goes crazy, you got a good chance of winning, or if the other team has a guy who explodes and goes crazy. So when you see your team win. Despite that, or being able to win dirty, it's encouraging. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the way it's going to have to happen. In the next round, if we see Toronto or Boston, we're going to have to withstand multiple like supernova nights. You know, any one of them dudes and any one of them things. So the thing is, can we win a dirty, grimy game where we do well? So here's the main thing I saw tonight, because this will segue into that. And I'm glad that Spo did it. They gave Middleton the Giannis treatment. They walked him off. He came down. They cut him off when he tried to change directions. Somebody was coming at him, and he was not prepared for that level of critical thinking in the moment. You know what I'm saying?
He's not that dude. He's not. Yeah. He ain't built for that. He ain't built for that.
That's what I liked about tonight, though, is that they made Chris Middleton show. Okay, so last game, he had a supernova moment. He goes crazy, right? But that's because we were playing him like a regular guy, you know? But then when we put the Giannis program on him, problem.
No, you turned him into TJ Warren and Jeremy Lin, and that's what I've been asking for.
And that's why you got to be able to play dirty, because even on our end, to the point about Jimmy has, if you get another mega game out of Jimmy, you're lucky. Like, he's really kind of already tapped out. If you look at Jimmy Butler as a player, he's not that guy. Sorry, everybody loves him in Miami. What we got out of him in these first two rounds is prime time Jimmy Butler. If he goes for 30-something and multiple times in the Eastern Conference Finals, we should all be like, oh my gosh, thank you, Lord.
Yeah.
So
I don't expect that at all.
No, yeah. And so
that's
why
to hold on to the ball.
Yeah. You gotta do that.
Hold on. Okay, I want to.
Even when he isn't, I'm done, Alf. But even when he can't get it, we got other guys who can score. Right. We can win dirty, and that's going to be important because we're going to have to muck it up with whoever we see in the next round. Go
ahead. I've watched multiple games with Kylie Wang, and one thing she can't stand is turnovers. Like, she does not even understand why they happen. Like, she just can't fathom these motherfuckers. And the Heat had 20 tonight, and they had 7, 8, 9 in the first quarter, 4 from Jimmy Butler. Kylie, the turnovers, and for them to overcome it, like, is that something that's a positive to you, or is it something like you can't do that against Boston?
I just want to say that, like, watching, except for with the possible exception of Game 1, I hated watching this series. I was so stressed. I fucking hated it. It made me I could not watch other basketball games. I didn't even watch NHL playoffs, and I love NHL playoffs. I just could not. There was no mental room in my head for other sports because these games stressed me out so much. Even the ones that we won, like, it was. I felt like the whole game was a mistake. Like, it felt like it shouldn't be happening. And I think mentally, both teams, especially the Heat going into this next round, they're so exhausted mentally, and not just exhausted might not even be the right word, but just I don't think that they're going to go into this. I'm happy to have this break, and I hope they can do something to this mentality, because right now it's not there. They're not playing the dogs that they are, and I cannot take the stress anymore. Okay, if I have to watch a 7-game series that is just full of turnovers and bad calls and bullshit and not hitting easy shots and goddamn Kendrick Nunn and making stupid mistakes, Duncan not hitting shots, and Kelly just forgetting that he's 7 fucking feet tall. I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose it mentally.
Kelly forgetting he's 7 feet tall is what is. I think Chris was trying not to talk about that, but it's one of those.
It's one of those things.
Chris is trying to be nice.
And I take it fucking personal because if I were 7 feet tall, I would never shut the fuck. I would. You don't even have to talk about
That's
it.
what everybody says.
Oh,
Everybody says that. Everybody says if I were 7 feet tall, I'd average 15 and 14 in the NBA.
Alfredo, give me your.
I love the game.
I'm not going to
I love
answer
the
any
game.
things. I was like, Kylie's killing me. I'm dying. Go ahead, Alfredo.
I love the game.
I
love the game, and
I have my takes on the game, and they have absolutely nothing to do with schematics. Go ahead.
I love the game, and I'll tell you why I love the game. They came into the game, they had a hangover from the last one, and Spo was a little late to adjust to what they were doing. They're running a lot of motion offense, running 3 guards at us, and the speed of the game was getting away from us. And you could see how they built that lead. They built it with speed, passing, good cuts, good screens. But then they started breathing, and Spo started getting into the game. He brought in Kendrick Nunn. Gave us I thought that was a good second quarter by Kendrick Nunn. They started breathing. They started grinding them down. They grabbed the lead, and they just put their hand up like this.
They stiff-armed them for 3
You don't
quarters.
get any closer than 5, and if you cut it to 2, we get a bucket on you. And Jimmy, he has a certain physicality. I think he could get buckets in the next series because he's going to be met with a pretty physical challenge in Marcus Smart. And he could get to his little spots inside of the key. And when he elevates, because he could get up, he's a good athlete, he could get his fouls and he could get easy buckets at the rim. So I don't worry about Jimmy. I do worry the stupidity, the general stupidity of this team in that first quarter.
Yeah.
It won't be enough to overcome against Boston.
Wow,
Against this team, we have a severe matchup advantage that we were able to overcome. But against Boston, they're going to have to play much cleaner basketball.
Here's what
Oh man, I didn't think the game was that terrible.
I didn't think the game was that terrible.
You're gonna have turnovers. I'm gonna let you go out.
You go.
Your pace. That was a lot of those turnovers came because they were trying to push the pace. To your point about like the speed of Milwaukee, Iggy came in off the bench a couple times and he was getting the ball off the rim and he was just going. A couple of those he ended up blowing layups after going full court. But to the point of like pushing the pace, I thought that was just like that's one of those like energy things. I think they came out in the first quarter, the energy was low, and Iggy and some other guys started to try to run, and with that you're going to get turnovers.
I think what happened is they were so ready for the game, they almost tried to calm themselves down too much and listen, they're human beings. But my biggest takeaway of the game is I hate Marvin Williams. And I just want to talk about this. How much I hate that bad body sumbitch. I don't ever want. I hope that he retires.
What is the problem with Marvin?
He gave Hero the work on the block. I don't know if you saw it.
But that's what you do when you're bigger. To Kylie's point,
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't want to see.
Kelly Olynyk.
I don't ever want to see somebody shaped like that play basketball ever again. Like he's not. He shouldn't be playing. Honestly,
He's not tractor trailer. I mean,
I don't care. He's shaped like a janitor at a school.
I find it hilarious that you're talking.
Charles Barkley is one of the best 15 players of all time. Maybe top 20.
I'm shaped like Marvin
What did he look
Williams,
like?
and I should be a janitor at a fucking middle school. I shouldn't be a basketball player. I'm so sick of this motherfucker. Like when he does things against my team, it drives me insane. Like, why did you let Marvin Williams hit a jump shot?
Is he in your JJ Barea category?
No. JJ Barea, like he's overcome a lot. Marvin Williams has chosen a lot. He says he's a tiny person. Marvin Williams is like 6'8", and like he's never you don't work out. Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing, Marvin Williams? Like, why
While
do you
we're
look
going
like
off the
that?
rails, and
Hey, Jason Barrett,
Marvin Williams.
greatest
I wanna
athlete
pick
in
up-
the history.
I'm so happy to have Marvin Williams the fuck out of my life. Like, the best thing about winning this game is I don't have to watch Marvin Williams play basketball again because I can't stand that sumbitch.
All right, Marvin Williams. I love all my UNC Tar Heels. One of my favorite college teams. I don't know why you have this irrational hate against Marvin
Fuck
Williams.
Marvin Williams.
But I
Come
will
see
say
me, Marvin Williams.
Why?
my man Kendrick Nunn been getting a lot of hate on this little stream right here. We interviewed Kendrick
Not me.
way at
Not
the
me.
beginning of the season, and I'm gonna ride with Kendrick Nunn all the way until he just whatever. Like he got to get it back. The COVID shit took a lot out of him. You feel me? So I'm just hoping for one. I'm hoping for one really good game in the Eastern
Wait.
Conference Finals.
Marvin
If we
Williams
get-
built like type 2 diabetes is a fantastic.
But I don't get it because he's not though. I don't understand what you mean. He's like
I
in
can't
shape.
stand
He's like
him.
6'8" and in shape. Or is
He
this
looks
a
like a-
jealousy thing?
He looks like a vice principal. I'm tired of him.
There are so many things I could talk shit about, like just looks wise on Milwaukee's team, and I've held them back, okay, because I didn't want to body shame anyone. But if we're going in, can we talk about the fact that Brook Lopez looks like an off-brand Vulcan? And what the fuck is Steven Vincenzo doing on the Heat with his white bread ass? How did that happen? Ginger ass motherfucker. What the fuck? I did not understand that. I did not like that. No,
That was white. Hey, that was a white on white crime. He dunked on your boy Duncan.
He really did.
it felt.
I
it
love
felt-
DiVincenzo, and I'm gonna use this point to prove a point to you, Alf. When DiVincenzo was going off for Villanova in the NCAA tournament, maybe about 2-3 years ago, I told you about him, and you told me, "Who cares about guys in college?" And now you're out here, you're watching them hoop in the league, and you're doing commentary and shit all about them. Where some of us have been watching them play forever. This is for Alf.
Okay, wait.
He only
When
watches the NBA.
Okay. Listen,
Fraud.
we about to devolve into an episode of Light Skin Opinions. When was DiVincenzo picked? What pick?
I don't know when he was picked.
Late
But I know he was-
teens,
I know he's
late
a
teens,
super-
early 20s. That's why I tell you I don't give a fuck about college basketball players because RJ Barrett's dumbass,
On your favorite player.
RJ Barrett's
Anyway,
dumbass
y'all
sitting at
go.
home looking like a Negro League baseball player and ain't even in the fucking playoffs. All right, and Tyler Hero got picked 13. No. Timmy, don't tell me timeout. You know RJ Barrett looks like he played with Josh Gibson, and he had that raggedy ass glove and a shitty hat. I know what RJ Barrett looks like
How did this celebration of Heat basketball devolve into?
because they let me host the show, Chris. They let me host the show. Pick
We
17.
are after the real analysis, okay? The people
All right.
think for one thing and one thing only, and I think we all know it.
I'm drunk. Anyway,
Dante does look like he works at Coral Square Champs. That is hilarious.
the best thing is all of my friends used to work at Coral Square Champs. The GM, everybody. We had that friends and family weekend. I used to buy 6 pairs of white Reebok Classics for $20 each.
And then
But anyway,
so they'd warp. And you're talking about people being bad body.
Tiffany,
No.
who do you want? What do you mean no? Who do you want to? You already told. You said you want to see Boston in the next round.
Yeah.
David, you said you want to see the Raptors, right?
Yeah, Toronto. I think we match up better with them.
Kylie, who do you want to see in the next round?
I'll be honest with you. Like I said before, I have not had the mental capacity to watch any basketball. I don't know. I couldn't even name you the starting 5 of either team right now. I'm going to do some research so that when we do another one of these shows series, I'm going to have some actual analysis to give you. But right now, like I'm on this, like if Ethan had asked me to be on the pod tonight, I would have said no because I have no room in my head for anything except for just drunk shouting about the Heat. Like,
But you know, on this show, we don't have actual analysis.
I don't know. I don't really like either of them. I hate the Celtics more. Okay, here's my analysis. I want us to play the Raptors so that way I don't have to listen to all these stupid fucks at UM who are Celtics fans.
Okay, that's good analysis on the postgame show.
Thank you.
Chris, who do you want to see, Toronto or Boston?
I want to see Toronto, but Boston would be such a great story because we already have playoff history with Boston. So that would be like a great like lineage series, and that would make it so that in this playoffs we have defeated the Pacers,
Good.
another rival. Is also I think we've just created a rival by defeating the Milwaukee Bucks, and then if we played Boston, it would be like, oh my gosh, a legacy journey. But I think we got a better chance of beating Toronto. Lowry and Van Fleet are strong, but if you shut down Siakam, I'll give Lowry and Van Fleet all they want. We can still beat them by 10, 15.
Alfredo, who do you want?
Yeah, I want to see Toronto. I think the Heat beat Toronto in 6. Let's say. I think Boston is a much more difficult series, and Boston, like, ugh, can you imagine losing to those fucking people?
That's what I mean.
I have no idea.
That's part of the problem. You know what I mean?
Al, considering the legacy we got with the Celtics, if we were to lose to the Celtics, I know my man David said earlier we're playing with house money, and he's right. But if we lose to the Celtics in the finals, does that hurt worse than if we happen to lose to Toronto?
No, honestly, I think the Heat can beat the Celtics. I think because here's my first of all, I want to thank everybody for tweeting at us or messaging us that Marvin Williams quit basketball, and I feel like I have a lot to do with that.
Let's start a hashtag.
I think he actually retired tonight, and I think
for real retired.
Yeah, I think he retired. I think he just announced his retirement, and I feel like I have a lot to do with that. And I think the basketball world should thank me that we never have to watch that school bus driver play basketball again. And then after that, when it comes to Boston or Toronto, here's my problem with when we talk about both of them. Boston has Kemba Walker, who is going to light up our guards. We do not have a single guard that can defend Kemba Walker adequately. The problem with Toronto is they have 2 of those motherfuckers that we can't guard adequately. So I would rather the team where they rely a lot on their wings, the Jaylen Browns and the Jason Tatums, where we have now with Jay Crowder and Andre Iguodala, and Jimmy Butler, we have a lot of wings. And Boston doesn't have a lot of size, right? So I think Boston is a better matchup. The problem is you look at the season. Yes, we didn't play well against Boston, but those games came before Andre Iguodala and Jay Crowder were integrated into the system. Now the Heat have a lot of guys they can throw out at those big wings, and they just have to try to control Kemba Walker. Against the Raptors, you have to figure out how to control Fred VanVleet and Kyle Lowry. And I don't like that. I don't think the Heat don't have 2 guards that can guard anybody. They don't have 1 guard that can guard anybody.
But you really think Van Fleet and Lowry can beat us by themselves?
Bro, did you see what Van Vliet did last year in the playoffs?
Yeah, but
have you seen what Van Vliet been doing to us all year?
But that's the whole theme of my comments on this stream has been all of this stuff in the bubble and in the playoffs in general is all up and down. So Van Fleet had a couple of raw games last year. So he might have 1 or 2 raw games this year. So Lowry goes off for 20-something 2 or 3 times. That doesn't mean they can beat us in a 7-game series. But
that logic should be applied to the Celtics then.
But the Celtics is a little more. I think you made my case for me. Say we do shut down Tatum and we shut down Brown. Then based on what y'all are saying, we still ain't got nobody to handle Kemba. So Kemba's still loose to get loose. Tatum is still going to give us 15.
He actually no. If Kemba gets 30. And you handle Tatum and you handle Brown, that's it.
But what is handling Tatum and Brown? Handling Tatum and Brown is still giving up a dub. If you handle Tatum and Brown,
no. We have the guys that can handle Tatum and Brown. That's why I agree with Tiffany.
That's a steady rotation of forwards.
Y'all think you can hold both of them guys below 20 points?
See, and here's what I'm gonna say, Tiffany. What did you say last game that gave the Heat the biggest problems against the Bucks when Giannis sat down? What lineup did the Bucks throw out there that gave the Heat hell?
Oh, the 3-guard lineup.
Thank you.
We have no answer. There's no answer. And it doesn't matter if Gorn can be rested. I mean, he could be rested from last year. There is no way he's going 7 games with Van Fleet and Lowry. There's just no way. And if Nunn doesn't become peak Nunn, it's not gonna happen. Like
That-
you gotta get more from none. And and we can't be talking about, he had to leave the bubble, he had COVID and this and that. Now there's no excuse. Like, you gotta show up.
David, and this is what part of my point was, when Giannis went out, it hurt the Heat, where they had a game plan, they had guys, they built up a team that could defend Giannis. They had guys like Bam and Jay Crowder that could body up Giannis. Once Middleton got going, it became a problem. And this is
sorry.
Go ahead.
Right, they were targeted towards Giannis. Obviously, you have to be. He's, two-time MVP, right? And you have to sort of gauge everything and sort of build everything that you're doing from a schematic perspective to stop him, because he was really the engine that made them run. But we've seen this with this Heat team throughout the year, where they do kind of have that letdown when it's just a bunch of guys, right? When it's when it's somebody, when there's not, the obvious alpha on that other side. And when you look at what we were able to do against Giannis, we were able to shut him down. And by shutting him down, it sort of filtered through the rest of their team because they fed off Giannis, right? But the minute he came off the floor, they were able to find their rhythm and stuff like that. And we saw that obviously in Game 4, and we saw it here in the first quarter tonight. But they found their rhythm, as Chris said, by shifting to Chris Middleton, right? And kind of treating him like Giannis. Moving forward, they could give that same sort of treatment to Siakam, right? But I know that you're talking about Van Vliet and Lowry. Lowry, in my opinion, is a very different player from Kemba Walker. Lowry isn't a speed point guard. And it's the speed point guards, it's the quick guys that give the Heat the most amount of trouble, right? Now, is Lowry a handful? Absolutely, right? But I feel, especially when you think about the wings that the Heat have, they can deploy those wings effectively against Lowry and Siakam. And by taking out those two guys, then at that point, we're talking about, a Van Vliet game versus a Kemba Walker game. And the minute we start talking about it at that level, I would prefer
Van Vliet
versus Walker. Because I do think that they can corral Kyle Lowry because he isn't that overwhelming speed threat. And they can sort of gauge the defense and schematically come up with dealing with him in that way. That's why I would choose Toronto, because they could do that sort of thing with the personnel that they have.
Kyle Lowry, though, could beat us on one of those fluke intangible games where he draws 4 charges, where, he gets somebody fouled out. That's kind of his game. He'll hit a timely jumper here and there. So if you sag off him too much, he'll kill you. And Van Vliet is a kind of a shooter, a guy who's trying to get space, not go to the cup on you.
You're talking about penetration as far you're talking about the penetration of those two guys compared to the penetration of Kemba Walker.
You're having a lot of fun saying the word penetration, huh?
Penetration. By while we're talking about penetration, let's talk about Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com and if
gotta be sleek.
If you like more penetration in your life, you probably should shave your balls. And if you want to do that, go to manscaped.com. Use the code 5 RSN for 20% off of all your purchases. Manscaped.com. I hope they like that promo, because I don't know if that was.
I was in a pinch. I'll give you a good promo. When I took it from you last time we did our thing, when we got our little box.
Took what from me? Pause.
It was in my car. The damn Manscaped thing that they sent us. They sent us a little box, the 3 of us. Pause. So I had it in my car, but low-key I forgot it was in there. Ended up at my girl's house, and I had to shave right quick. And then I was able to line myself up, quite quickly. Not well, but it did the job. I was like, okay.
Thank you.
It's not an edger. That's what
anecdote, Chris.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful anecdote. Thank you for that.
Yeah,
And we have just sold a ton of Manscaped tonight. Manscaped works, believe me. I'm living proof. I used to have hairy shoulders.
Anybody's used the ball toner yet or no?
Whoa, not yet.
I didn't know what that was, so I just kind of left it in there. I didn't know what is ball toner.
The ball deodorant, it's self-explanatory.
Yeah, I get the ball deodorant, but toner to me is either ink that goes into a printer, Or I know in makeup they put toner on their face to do something. I don't know.
We're selling product, Tiffany.
Yeah.
Can we? Okay.
And one of the things in the box was ball toner, and it comes in a very nice package. I mean,
You selling something?
Yeah. I mean, it's very well packaged. This whole
Speaking
situation.
of very nice packages, use manscaped.com.
It made me think I needed ball toner. I looked at it like, do I need ball toner? Because this looks.
All right, for Kylie and Tiff, let's talk more about Biscayne Bay Brewing.
No, I have something to say. I was wrong. Okay, I'm publicly admitting that I was wrong. I thought the Bucks were going to win this series way back before the series started, and I was wrong. So I told Heat Twitter that I was going to get a tattoo, assuming that I was wrong, which I am.
Oh wow!
So everybody, tell me what I should get. I was thinking.
Oh wow!
A little like Heaton 4, just a little small one to remind me. I don't know if I want to go like full logo. I don't love color tattoos. I didn't have the guts. Okay, I get it.
You should get a Tyler Hero tattoo on Jimmy Butler tattoo that's on Bam Adebayo.
I was going to say get the number 14.
So it's like one of those little Russian dolls that it's like a small one inside of another one and inside of another one. So we're talking about a Tyler Hero tattoo on like Jimmy Butler's bicep, but then Jimmy Butler is on Bam Adebayo.
Is this like the Rick Ross chain?
Well, wait, I don't want to get the players because like what if they end up being rapists?
Oh
wow!
Yeah,
I mean,
you never know.
Don't put that evil on Bam Adebayo.
I'm scared he can get like a D Wade, and I love Dwayne Wade with all my heart, and I don't think that there's anything bad that he could possibly do in his life. He's such a beautiful, supportive man to his family, but like, I don't know. So until he dies,
nah, D Wade is safe. D Wade is safe.
All right, I'm taking a grip of the wheel on the show back, and usually that's not a good idea, but it went off the rails, even by my standards. What I want to talk about is we're going to do a poll of what Kylie should get as a tattoo, but I'm taking back the Razor show.
I'm saying that right now.
We're doing a poll. Whoever wins. All right, and you have to get the tattoo. So we got 3 minutes.
Just put 3 Larry O'Briens, but leave room for a 4th and a 5th and a 6th.
And what if we find out that Larry O'Brien was a rapist?
Right.
Anyway. Okay.
He most definitely was possibly a racist. Most definitely.
Yeah, listen. When you lived at that time, you probably didn't like black
You might
folk.
be right, Chris.
Yeah, it's a possibility.
Weird ass comments, dude. Yes,
Kylie's married for the last 15 years. We got 3 minutes left because I've promised that I won't go over 45 minutes because as I continue to drink, the worse the show gets, and we see what's happening when you put me in charge. So I want to go to each of you guys.
The show gets.
Better, worse. It depends how you love that. Anyway, I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna go at $7.90 the ticket today, even though they was talking shit about me live on air. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, grow the fuck up. Like, it's Heat playoffs. You're talking about Alf 954 on air. Like, get better topics.
Whoa, that's a flex for you,
idiots. Anyway, because your fucking weekend shit is trash, and everyone knows your weekend shit is trash. So that's why they download our shit on the weekend.
Robert Rant. Let's go.
Anyway, let me get. I was not going to address $7.90 to take his trash ass today, but I told Ethan no more. I'm not going to hit up Zaslow and how you love that and the black scent that he uses when he does that. So I'm going to get back to what's important. Black scent. I don't know if you know what that means.
I got you. Come on, go.
No, I want to talk to the commenters. It's offensive as shit. How you love that? Anyway, get the fuck out of here. So let's get back to $7.90 still exists. If you have a transistor radio, you can pick it up. You just gotta get your antenna right. Okay, I'm gonna stop.
That is true though. You do gotta get your antenna right.
You gotta get your don't cross no county lines. Thinking
you have a digital car radio, like if you can't like actually turn a dial, it's gonna be a bit of a problem.
It does make it to plantation. You gotta give credit.
It does, but then I always have to play go one station before, like one number before, one number after to kind of anyway.
That whole station sounds like Ethan's mic. Anyway, by
the way, Ethan on the pregame show came on the pregame show with this headphone thing hanging all over his head.
Oh my
and
God!
They just took it out like really?
So
like that's what we're doing? That's our pregame show?
No, he has money, so I don't understand why he doesn't have money.
And then he started asking for donations.
I thought you were taking control, Alf.
Why he can't untangle his mic, his headphone cords. Okay, I'm taking it back. Chris is right. I want to talk about important things, not $7.90 the ticket.
I'm trying to get another special package of ball toner, cuz.
I'm not talking about $7.90 the ticket because who talks about dinosaurs? Anyway, so David, I want to talk about the expectations coming into this year for the Miami Heat, right? They are in the Eastern Conference Finals. My expectations coming in was give somebody a strong second round series and go out in 6 and make me feel good about it. Right now, from what you expected and from what it is now, have they exceeded or have they met? What's going on? And 20 seconds.
Listen,
trying to get around the horn.
Like I said, they're playing with house money. They have far exceeded my expectations. Like you, I'm hoping for the second round. I thought maybe, I would have been happy with, a good first round series depending on the matchup, but I was hoping for second round. At this point, they've dominated through these playoffs. They had a bad game 4 and even just a bad stretch in game 4, not even a whole bad game 4. So the fact they've far exceeded my expectations. So again, they're playing with house money at this point. They're going to be competitive regardless of their opponent in the Eastern Conference Finals. And I think they have a legitimate shot to represent the East in the NBA Finals. I really do.
5 seconds. New expectation. 5 seconds.
New expectations?
Yeah.
If they play Toronto, I think they win in 6. If they play Boston, they probably lose in 6 or 7 would be my guess. But that's where I am.
Tiffany, exceeded, and what are your new expectations? 25 seconds.
All right. I live in New York, so the fact that they show up and play, they've exceeded all expectations. Listen.
Yeah, there's no basketball in New York. We know that.
Listen, honestly, finals. That's it.
That's the new expectation.
That's for me.
Yeah.
Why not?
Straight up.
Chris, have they exceeded your expectations, and what are the new expectations?
They met my expectations. I expected we'd get this far. I had no fear of any of these teams in the East, really. New expectations. I think we beat Boston in 7. I'm just, I ain't got no money on this, so I'm just gonna say something, But we're gonna beat Boston in 7 to go to the finals. And then if we go to the finals, it might be some trash in the finals. It might be.
Listen, they can muck it up against anybody.
Braun over here struggling right now against Houston, so you never know.
Kylie, met expectations, exceeded expectations, and what are the new expectations?
Definitely exceeded. I'm not going to talk super generally. I think that Ethan says this all the time, but obviously this is the floor for this team. I mean, unless Pat Riley chokes and dies and we get some new shitty GM, this team is only going to get better. This roster is only going to get better next season. Honestly, I can see them going all the way to the finals. I've never thought they were going to win, but I've been proved wrong before, so I'm not going to say anything. I would be very happy to see them there, although if they win the finals this year, I'm going to be a little disappointed that it's the year of COVID and the bubble.
Alfredo, it met expectations, exceeded expectations, and what are the new expectations?
Yeah, they met expectations. We've been talking for months. If they get the right matchup, this, that, okay, if they get the 4 seed, the 5 seed, do you want the 3 seed? Really, we wanted the 3 seed to face Toronto. So that's what I would want in the Eastern Conference Finals. And I basically boil it down to this. Toronto is a lot of pick and roll. We got the best pick and roll defending big man in basketball in Bam Adebayo. Sure. Boston is motion. So it's a little bit more difficult of a challenge. So they've met expectations. New expectations, they shouldn't fear anybody. The Celtics, they're going to be a favorite in this series, the next round. the Heat can easily win that series. I expect it to go very long, 6-7 games, and then flip a coin.
To me, and we're going to close out here. They've exceeded my expectations by far. Right? I didn't expect the Eastern Conference Finals. My new expectations are they're going to be Boston in 6. I'm not afraid of Boston. They have the wing defenders to defend Tatum. I expect moves like a lot of DJJ minutes, a lot of Andre Iguodala on Tatum. They have these long defenders that can defend the most potent scorers on Boston, and they have a Bam Adebayo who. Are you really worried? Does he have to spend a lot of his time on Tice? And they have no other big man that really bothers you. And the Celtics are very small and they have a very limited bench. And where the Heat are strong is they have a really good bench. And if you don't have size against them, they're going to bludgeon you, right? So I think they'll beat the Celtics in 6. And then at that point, we'll talk about the finals when we get to the finals. But I'm calling Boston in 6. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. The post-game shows have been a wild success. I appreciate all you guys.
Wild success.
They have been a wild success. Like the views have been great.
I'm just mimicking your
last one got damn near 30,000 views.
I mean, it's like 7 times a morning show on 790. It's ridiculous. Anyway. How you love that? Anyway, y'all keep talking that shit. Get me more followers. I got like 40 followers off them talking shit on me on air. Thank you for that. And y'all know your boy don't give a fuck. Keep talking.
A hot 40.
Huh? A hot 40. This how I does it. Anyway. All right, y'all. Check out Kylie's show on the YouTube channel. Check out David. What are you doing on 5 Reasons now?
So I mostly cover the Marlins for 5 Reasons. So I'm writing a lot of the content on the site for the Marlins, and I'm in on the Zoom calls and things like that, make the occasional Marlins video. I mean, tonight they had Sixto Sanchez going, and he was awesome. So it's a good time to be a Miami sports fan, guys. Good time.
Apparently the Marlins are playing baseball. Who would have thunk it? Check out Kylie, check out Tiffany. Tiffany's gonna continue to contribute. Check out me and Chris on Light Skin Opinions. If you thought we was going at each other tonight, my God, it gets a lot worse on Light Skin Opinions. Check out Alfredo on 3 Yards for Carry, and we are out. I have to go to work in the morning, or I have to wake up for work in the morning and come over to the same desk and send emails. What's that? Send more money to Kylie for beer.
Oh, and money. Yes, I also take money. My Venmo is Kylie-Wang. Hit your girl. I'm broke. Not to brag, but I have absolutely no money.
Eastern Conference Finals. Thank you very much. Good night, y'all.